Hello everyone, it's Alexander from City Gazing here, and today I'm in Woodside. It's a neighborhood in Queens, New York, and I'll tell you some facts about it and will comment on the things I see around me. Woodside has one of the highest Filipino populations in New York City. Those given part of the neighborhood the nickname Little Manila. Woodside is commonly considered the heart of the Filipino community, which dates back to around the 1970s. After the passage of 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act, Filipino medical professionals moved to Woodside, many working at the nearby Elmhurst Hospital, and most Filipinos felt welcome, since Woodside had been predominantly Irish Catholic at the time. Today, there are about 50,000 to 70,000 Filipinos living in the Woodside area. Philam, the food mart that you see right now, is one of the most popular stores in the neighborhood, featuring everything from ube desserts to Filipino meats to dishes like lumpia, which are spring rolls, and balut, which is fertilized duck egg. So that was a short intro for you. Today is Monday, March 4th, and a really nice spring weather. So it should be a nice walk. It's almost 5 p.m. This neighborhood is close to the other one that I shot a video like a few days ago about the sunny side. These are neighboring neighborhoods. You'll see that a lot of things look the same, but some are still different. It's another non-touristy place here in New York, so we'll not see huge crowds here or some major attractions. That's a place where people live. In advance. You can see right down below is a highway. That's Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. So I can imagine that living here might be a little bit noisy. There is an abandoned house right there. Judging by the look of the windows upstairs, it looks like there was a fire. But you see, just half a block away from the highway, and it's much more quiet here. It's my first time here. I haven't walked here. I was here only at the Long Island Railroad station. So I'm experiencing everything here for the first time myself. So far it looks like a pretty clean neighborhood with the regular businesses. Nothing outstanding. Just a very typical place in New York, well, where people live. The place where we are heading to is called Winfield Reformed Church. And it's a Protestant church that was founded in 1880, making it the oldest Taiwanese church established in North America. The church was originally located on Queens Boulevard and moved to its current location in 1910, with the current building constructed in 1914. The church is named after an adjacent area that was largely incorporated into Woodside. The church was historically Dutch-speaking, though a large wave of Taiwanese immigrants came in the 1960s, becoming predominantly Taiwanese by 1969. Church pastors have for decades advocated for Taiwanese causes, attending rallies and speaking with the media. And this is how the church looks like. Looks pretty small. They have it in 2 languages here. And here is some information about the Sunday service. Let's see. I need to go back because there is a dead end in that direction. And I want to show you another thing here. Here is another part of this Winfield Reformed Church. I thought that they only have that old building, but it looks like they have two buildings here. You can see that it's a rush hour here and a lot of traffic. Some auto repair shop. And we need to turn right here. They have even a little lawn here. As always, I will leave a link in the description for the website where I'm getting all the facts about the neighborhoods. Feel free to check it out. I'm not going to every place they are listing, just the places I think are interesting. But feel free to leave a comment and say that I've missed something that you wanted to see, and I will come back. Dude in the car asked if I was vlogging. I said yes. Here you can see some taekwondo. And now we will be crossing Queens Boulevard. It's a long boulevard, so you might see that in my other videos too. You can see Long Island Railroad train running on the bridge. The place where we are heading to is Francis Ford Coppola's house. Francis Ford Coppola, who would go on to direct legendary films such as The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, had his beginnings at 6724 49th Avenue in Woodside. Born in Detroit, Coppola moved with his family to the Woodside home in 1941 at age 2, living there for a decade before moving to Lake Success in Nassau County. The family moved to New York due to his father's promotion to principal flautist of the NBC Symphony Orchestra. Another Long Island Railroad train. Coppola was constrained to the home for much of his childhood after developing polio. He would watch puppet shows at home, which inspired his interest in theater than movies. Some 99 cents and up market, and some kind of deli, another mini market. And another Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. And this is the house where Ford Coppola lived. Alright, and now I need to head back to the Queens Boulevard, but to the other part of it. Looks like no cars, so I can cross. Let me go here, not to go back through the places I've been to already. It's a very typical Queens street. You will see streets like this all across Queens. In Astoria, Long Island City, and you've seen that in Sunnyside too. There is a guy fixing rooftop. I'm filming Woodside because some folks in the comments asked me to do that. So if you want me to go to some other neighborhood, please do. I have another neighborhood in the Bronx to go to next time. I know that these non-touristy neighborhoods are not as entertaining as 5th or 6th Avenue in Manhattan, but I just want to see how New York is like, not on Manhattan, but in all other boroughs. Some people are saying that it's very crowded in New York, and it is. But look at this neighborhood. Not a lot of people. Look at this license plate. It says Pikachu, and they got Pikachu toy. It's funny. You can see planes sometimes when I'm pointing in the right direction. That's because LaGuardia Airport is nearby. Alright, let's see what would be the best way to cross the street here. It's busy, they don't have pedestrian crossings here. Oof, I would not park my car like this. Very dangerous. And we are back at Queens Boulevard. You can see another plane coming. Gas station. You will not see a lot of them in Manhattan. And another plane. That's a fire engine right here. And here you can see the Damina's Pizzeria. I haven't seen a lot of them because people are usually going to some local pizza joints. You will not see Pizza Hut or stuff like this everywhere for the same reason. There is a lot of pizzerias, but just not the chain ones. It looks like a plaza here where you can go buy some groceries, pizza, get a haircut, get some grill, deli, Chinese food, all of that. And we are almost at the place I wanted to show to you. We are at the 60th Street right now, and you need to go to 58th. That's a very typical plaza sign where they will list all the businesses that are operating there. Maybe not all the businesses, but most of them. You can see all these buildings that are looking the same, and the complex is called Big Six Towers. So I would assume that there are 6 of them. I don't know if you can tell that on the video, but the road goes slightly uphill and I can feel the heat. I'm wearing a jacket and that's my mistake. You will see to my left the Calvary Cemetery, but I will not be going there this time. There are some really interesting cemeteries here in New York, but I want to do a separate video on that. Right, and we are at the 58th Street and Queens Boulevard. And because I haven't been to this place, I hope I'll get it right from the first try. But if not, we might need to cross the street a couple of times. I'll show you what I was looking for, and we'll tell you a story after that. So, here it is. Let me see if I can get all of that. So, a traffic median along Queens Boulevard in Woodside and 58th Street claims to be the center of the New York City. And most passers-by likely have never noticed it. But the sign is inaccurate, and not by a small measurement. The true center of New York City is really in Bushwick, in a completely different borough miles away, though the Bushwick Center does not have a marker. Nobody knows exactly why this marker exists in Woodside, and there is no evidence that the city government approved of its installation. It's likely that someone not affiliated with the government placed the marker there with little knowledge of city geography. The city has no plans to remove this marker or erect one in the actual center of New York City. Oh, that was another interesting point I wanted to show to you. Because it's like with the charging bull, someone placed it there, no one knows who and when and how, but no one will bother to remove it. So if you have any crazy ideas to place something in New York and it will be something that people will like or will not notice, that might stay there for a long time. And we are back to the other side of Queens Boulevard. I have a few more places to show to you. So stay tuned. And if you are at this point and still watching, then you might have liked my channel. So please click that subscribe button. It will mean a lot to me. And I have memberships now, so if you want to support me monetarily, you can do that. Just subscribe to a membership, or you can click on the thanks button and send any amount of money you want. It's not necessary at all, but I would appreciate it too. Here you can see Woodside Community Church, Baptist Church. It's a pretty big building. And the place where we are heading to is Saint Sebastian's Church. The full name is Saint Sebastian Roman Catholic Church. It was founded in 1896, and when it came time for the congregation to move buildings, they chose an unexpected one, the former location of Lowe's Woodside Theatre, which opened in 1926. I will show you a building in a minute. So here it is. The entrance and the lobby of the theater were demolished and replaced with the Romanesque bell tower. However, the theater's auditorium decor was kept intact, including the domed ceiling and 40 columns along the side walls. And today, the church draws in diverse range of congregants, including Hispanic, Irish, Filipino, and Korean Catholics. Here is some plaza where they are doing some reconstruction. It's closed as of now. And it's called Sogunske. Oh, I cannot pronounce that right. Sonske Square. But we are heading to another plaza, a little bit bigger. Another regular deli right here. Some Thai shop. And here we are at the Doughboy Park. For some reason it's called Doughboy Plaza on the Google Maps, but officially it's Doughboy Park. Doughboy Park is notable for its statue of a Doughboy and a small garden. After the land on which the park is situated was determined to be too steep and overgrown for children to play on, it was assigned to New York City Parks in 1957, which later developed it into a sitting space. The Doughboy Monument was placed in the park in 1923 to honor members of the U.S. Army Air Marine Corps used by the British during World War I. The sculpture was created by Bird Johnson from Flushing, depicting a solemn World War I soldier holding his helmet and gun standing atop of a granite pedestal inscribed with "Lest we forget." Soldiers from Woodside would gather at the mustering ground before leaving to fight, though 10 soldiers who left from the park never returned. In 1990, the statue was renewed and coated with wax, and the surrounding plaza was renovated in 2001 to include benches. A stone panel was installed with the names of 11 major World War I campaigns and 7 battles in which American soldiers fought. Locals continue visiting the park every Memorial Day, as they have done for over a century. I'm trying to see where the stone panel is, but I cannot see it. Sorry that I have missed it. Let's see, I need to go down. Still can't see that stone panel. I like how this house looks like. And this avenue to my left is called Woodside Avenue. I have two more places to show you. But I need to walk for another 7 minutes. We'll see how this part of the neighborhood looks like. You see that there is some gated community right there. And everything looks very clean there. New York is so different. Every block is like, looks like a completely different city. Because a long time ago it was like this. It was not a one huge New York City. It was a lot of small cities. That later became a New York City as it is right now. I don't know what that location is, but their head building looks like a German style house. Another deli or bodega. You will see shops like this almost at every corner here in New York. So this is TSBA controls. I don't know what that means. But the building looks nice. Excuse me. This is an auto repair shop. Another bridge where Long Island Railroad is crossing. You can see how dark clouds are in the background. The weather forecast says that it should be raining for the next 4 days. So I would probably go and film Manhattan in the next couple of days when it will be raining. I like the atmosphere there when it rains. I like the bike. That's loud. The place we are at is called the Tower Square Shopping Center. And you can see that there are there's a lot of shops like Subway, Michael's, GameStop, Starbucks, Dollar Tree. But the interesting thing that I wanted to show you is this, a Trolley Barn. The Trolley Barn, which is now empty but used to host a Pizza Hut, was built in 1896 for the New York and Queens Railroad Company. The building served trolley cars from Flushing, College Point, Jamaica, and Long Island City, and was the site of the largest car barn in Queens. That's how it looks like right now. Let me get back here to show it to you from this other side. The formation of the independent subway system and the expansion of buses led trolley companies to go bankrupt, and the building serviced the last trolley in around 1937. In 1980s, plans to tear down the building came to a dramatic halt when a stop work order was issued minutes after a bulldozer began working on the clock tower in 1987. Community preservationists rallied to save the building then and still work to protect its architectural integrity. Let me see how it looks like from the other side. You can still see the inscription here that says New York and Queens Company Railway, probably, RYCO, and that there is a waiting room right here. I'm glad that it was preserved. And there is one last place I'll show you. That would be one of the oldest cemeteries in New York City. It's a 6-minute walk from here, so I will end this video soon. I'm sorry that it's more than an hour. I know that it might be very inconvenient to watch a video that long. But thank you if you are watching it fully. And this street right here is called Northern Boulevard. A lot of car shops here, or like not car shops but car repair shops, like oil change and car wash and car parts. And here is another apartment complex here. It's 5:43 p.m. and it's almost sunset time. I need to film that last location before the dark so we could see something there. I don't know what this building is, but it says that it's protected. Why? I don't know. What's inside? I don't know too. No signs that could indicate that. That's an old car. Emergency services. And we are almost there. Just one more block. We'll turn to the left and we will see one of the oldest cemeteries in New York City. It's called Moore Jackson Cemetery, and it's a historic cemetery that was active from 1733 until around 1868. The cemetery is one of the last in New York dating to the 18th century, and about 50 corpses are interred there. In 1684, Samuel and Charity Moore bought the plot of land in which the cemetery stands and owned and owned it for over a century. Many of those interred are family members of the Moores' 10 children, including Augustine Moore, who died in 1769 and still maintains an inscription. Though most of the tombstones are completely illegible today, John Jackson bought additional land near the cemetery in 1867. Members of the Moore and Jackson families took care of the site until 1910, when it fell into disrepair. The Works Progress Administration raised the land in 1930s, and in 1954 the city government seized the cemetery, which was maintained starting in 1974 after 2 decades of deterioration. The Queen's Historical Society restored it around the turn of the century, and the community garden was established in 2018. And it should be right here to my left. Here you can see that it says Moore Jackson Cemetery, circa 1733. And you can see some tombstones here. Let me see if I can go inside. Yeah, there is another sign that shows when it was established. And looks like it's closed for the day. Let me check Google Maps quickly. Yeah, it's open only on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. So I would not be able to go inside. I'm a little sad, but it is how it is. I hope that you can see tombstones at least. Yeah, so I'll be heading to the subway station, and I'd like to thank you for watching. And please subscribe to my channel, put your like on the video, and let me know where you want me to go next. And I'll see you in the next video.